Hello, all you YouTubers who are watching the Screenwriter's Journey, A Screenwriter's Journey, day 157. I gotta say, I've been working on the script for a long, long time, but I'm literally at the point where it's more fun to record these voiceovers than it is to write. There, I've said it. I've just hit a spot, and it's just not a good spot. It's not where the script is here, and for some reason, oh, there we go. Um, so this is like 5 weeks in the future, 6 weeks in the future of when I'm recording this voiceover, and the stuff I'm writing right now, I just cannot make it work, and it's super frustrating, and I just need to clear my mind and get on with it because it's ridiculous. I think of it like when I'm laying in bed before I go to sleep, when I'm in the shower, when I'm driving to work, driving home from work, taking a break from work, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe I have to do less thinking and more writing, or I just need to take a total break. What are your thoughts on taking a total break? A lot of people say you should take a total break and just work on another script. And I must say, that was my wife sneezing, if you heard that. I must say that I don't have another script to work on right now. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to start another script. I don't really have, I know some writers have like a file of ideas somewhere. My method has always been something comes to mind and then I just totally leave it in my mind for maybe 6 months, and I'll see how many times I think about it and what I think about it, and et cetera, et cetera. And then if it's still there after 6 months, I say, that might be worth working on. I haven't really had anything, and I don't know that I've really tried to come up. I have so many old scripts that I think are still very solid stories. A couple in particular, and I have one that I wrote like many years ago, sci-fi, fantasy. And it was pretty good, but it was, no one sells a spec fantasy script that's going to cost $150 million to make. So I thought about writing that as a novel, and it actually started as a novel. Yeah, it did. No, that was no, I can't remember. No, that one didn't start as a novel. Anyways, back to the present here. It has not been fun. And speaking of not been fun, I am here looking at page 13 here. And I think I kind of remember yesterday or the day before being kind of happy with this scene, and I still kind of am. And maybe the new stuff I'm writing, which I'm on like page 77, I just need to like go back and rewrite like I have been this first 15 or 20 pages. But it seems to be a different problem. Obviously, when you get that far into the story, you can't completely change things like you can in the first 10, 15 pages. Because once you have the setup, you can't just pull the rug out and do something else. So I'm just reading this over because I've changed this so many times before, during, and after this day of writing, 157, that I'm just trying to remember where it is in the grand scheme of things. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. You already got it planned out. So I'm trying to figure out how, who comes up with this idea of them meeting, how Lexi reacts to it, because obviously Holly is going to come up with it. And I kind of wanted to make it somewhat apparent that Holly has really done this and is kind of pushing this on Lexi to make it kind of seem like her decision, but it's really not, even though Holly has just talked about now how since Lexi's legally an adult, she can do whatever. she wants, just as I have Lexi say whatever. Coincidence? I think not. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And I had spoken at some point about how far does a character have to go before the audience finds him or her, in this case, unlikable, and then can she redeem herself? She hasn't done anything horribly bad, maybe a little misguided, but as it goes on, I have that question also. It's either, there's two things: how bad can a character act, or how stupid can a character act, just making obviously bad decisions before the audience says, no, I'm not going there. All right, let's see. Decisions, nothing set in stone. So I keep changing exactly how I want to handle this in terms of how Holly tries to sell it to her. Because I think you can kind of see based on Rachel's brief conversations with Holly, even at the very beginning, she's kind of a controlling, manipulative person. And I may have mentioned this, I think I have, that about what my wife said, that I set up this premise for her, and I said, would any mom act like that? And she goes, oh, a narcissistic psychopath. And that freed me up to make Rachel really evil. And so I'm trying to carry that through and trying to make her kind of a conniving trickster, not trickster, but a really conniving, controlling person. And the problem with that is if you make the other person, in this case Holly, kind of the dupe, that makes her look weak. And so that's been kind of tricky, because Holly is planting all these ideas and thoughts in Holly's mind. And then, did I say Holly? Rachel is planting all these thoughts in Holly's mind and eventually Lexi's mind to cast seeds of doubt, if you will. So we'll see what happens. But day 157 has come to an end. I had a little ramble there at the beginning and then just caught fire, in my opinion. See you tomorrow.